Hi everyone, we're here at Warner Music Nashville headquarters and I'm joined by Mr. William Michael Morgan. William, it's good to see you.
Good to see you as well, my friend. Thank you for having us here.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you for coming and doing this. We've been fans of yours for a long, long time.
That's what we were just saying, man. That's unbelievable to think that, man. Thank you, thank you.
It's good to have you. Um, First of all, talk to me about the Opry performance that you did a few days ago, because you've played there quite a few times now. So
We have, yeah. I think that was our 53rd appearance.
Wow.
52nd or 53rd appearance, yeah. And that was just last Saturday, just a couple of days ago, like you said, man. It's so amazing. It's such a blessing to get on that stage. You know, so much history that's involved there, not just in the circle, but you can feel it through all of backstage. You know, the people taking the tours. If you've never taken a tour, if you've never been to Nashville, that is the first thing I suggest you do.
we went and did the tour yesterday, and I was getting chills just
It's
walking around the
unbelievable.
halls, man. It's
so
crazy.
much history, so much history.
So what's it like from an artist's perspective to be there? That must be the kind of the pinnacle of anyone's career to step into
Oh,
that
for
circle.
sure. You know, I am just like every other singer out there. I've dreamed about this since I was a kid. I've wanted to do it, since I was 5, 6 years old. Ever since I heard what the Grand Ole Opry was and what it was about. So, man, just to be able to play once, twice, as many times as we've been able to play it's a huge honor.
And CMA Fest was just a few weeks ago in Nashville as well.
It was hot. It was hot.
It seems to always be hot here, like
Yeah, it's either
in the
hot
summer.
or it's raining. There is no in between.
But I know there's quite a few people who came over from the UK to CMA Fest. So tell us what that was like from an artist's perspective.
That's so cool because that week is all about the music and the love of country music, and not just here in the States, but over there in the UK. Germany, France, everywhere. Everybody comes together for one thing: the love of music.
Yeah.
And that's what's so amazing, man. You know, we got to meet so many cool people from all over the world, all over the country, and they got to share their stories with us. You know, we got to share our story with them, and we got to, what I feel like, made some pretty decent friends.
That's amazing.
You know, yeah.
I mean, it must be a pretty busy weekend for you because I would imagine you're being pulled from pillar to
and
post.
I think that was our third time to do it. That was I believe it was our third CMA Fest, fanfare, however you want to say it these days. So I mean, we've made some good friends over the past couple of years that have come time and time again, and you know, last year or this year, I guess, was no different. Man, we've made some friends that we're looking forward to seeing next year.
Awesome. And we're here today at Warner Music Nashville offices. So tell us what it's been like to be a part of the Warner Music family for you, and what that means to an artist.
Well, man, it's just that. It's a family. They really treat you like family under here. You know, once you're with them, you're with them. You know, they've got your back. Heck, they've seen me through a bunch of stuff. You know, and for a label to have your back like that, man, it really feels good. And we're working on new music with them right now, man.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that because I saw your little post on social media a few days ago saying you're working on new stuff. So how's that going?
I'm glad you asked about that, man. It's actually going really good, and we've been trying to keep everybody in the loop on social media with not only us working on new music, but us being out there working on our live show, getting the crowd audience and getting the crowd energy and our energy just a little bit better every night. You know, getting the show a little bit tighter every night. And we're adding some of these new songs in there as well that we've been working on in the studio, working on this new album. We're adding some of those songs in there as well, just to kind of get a feel or an early feel for them, to see what people think.
Yeah. So what can people expect from the next William Michael Morgan record? Do you feel any kind of pressure or responsibility after the first record went down so well?
You always want to do better, and I feel, of course, I'm a little biased, but I feel like we did a really good job with vinyl. I feel like we hit the marks that we wanted to hit. So now it's just keeping that same level of song, keeping that creativity. And I feel like I've grown so much too, man. I feel like I've grown a whole lot personally in my career. I mean, I'm 2 years into being, a little over 2 years into being a dad now. You know, I just feel like I've grown up a lot. So my writing, I feel like I have a lot more to say. And in the studio, I feel like some of the songs that I'm singing that I didn't write, I kind of understand a little more.
Yeah.
Maybe I've lived them, maybe I haven't. Maybe I'm living them at the moment. But it feels good to be back in the studio, man. It feels good to be working on new music again. And it feels good to include the fans in on all that.
Are we going to see a lot more of your co-writes on the new album, or is it going to be mostly outside songs again?
Man, I've been writing a whole bunch. So I feel at the moment we'll have a good majority of my co-writes on it. Of course, we've always been the best song wins. We want to make sure that we have the best songs that we can possibly have. We've had a good first impression, I believe, now, so let's keep the good impressions going.
And for the outside songs, the ones you haven't written, what's the criteria for a William Michael Morgan record? What do you look for from outside songs?
I mean, I want a good lyric, you know. I want something real, you know, something that moves me, a melody that's different, a lyric that's different, you know. I just want meaning to it, you know. I want a little meatier. I want a little more meat on the bone, you know.
So when can we expect this new music to come out, do you think?
Well, there's no specific timeline yet. We're actually here at the label today to talk about that stuff too. But it's pretty interesting to think, man, that we're gonna have some stuff out possibly before the end of the year as far as new music, goes. But as far as a new album, there's no real timeline on that yet. But as far as new music, new single, should be before the end of the year.
We're looking forward to it. And tell us a little bit about this video blog that you're starting on YouTube, talking about being a dad on the road. And
well, man,
that sounds awesome.
Just being a parent in general, not a dad, not a mom, but just being a parent in general is not the easiest thing in the world, especially if you travel a lot, especially if you work a lot, whatever the case may be. And that's the case for a lot of people in the United States and in the world. So we wanted to just kind of laugh and grow and talk and share and pick each other up, you know, kind of. You know, I want to share my story a little bit each week. I wanted to do it every Monday, but sometimes it's, you know, with us traveling so much, but we're going to do it every week at least. And I just want to hear other people's stories about being a dad, being a mom, being a single parent, being a parent in a family that does that. You know, it's just, I just want to hear everybody's story and see if I'm doing it the right way. I don't know if there's a right way, but I want to know if I'm doing it somewhat the right way, and if, you know, there's any comparison between what they're doing and myself.
Well, we were with Aaron Watson the other day, and he was talking about how difficult it is to strike the balance between being a dad and being on the road. And I know that he puts 3 days a week into being at home, and he makes sure that's in his schedule. So how do you strike that balance between?
Well, I get her every other week, yeah. So there's 3 days there where I get her, I try to bring her up here, and if not, then I go down there to my mom and dad so they can spend time with her as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. And big family means a lot to me, man. And you have to make time for family. You know, you have to make time for the ones that you love, family, friends, and just it's just a matter of doing that, making the time.
So before we let you go, William, we have to speak about the UK, because you have a lot of fans in the UK, as we were just saying off camera. So is it in the pipeline, a UK trip?
Like we were saying a little earlier, you know, we've tried for the past couple of years to try to see if we could get something over there. And so far, it just, no fault of nobody's, it just hasn't worked out yet. So I'm going to say again that we're working on it for next year. I hope that we can get out there, man, because you guys talking to us about it right before we came on, you know, it's just unbelievable to think that there's that many people out there that listen to our music, much less like it, you know.
Well, when the vinyl album came out, there was such a buzz on social media, because we have like little country music Facebook groups and things in the UK.
Right, which
people
I've noticed a lot.
There's like the C2C groups, and they just love your music, and they know the album tracks, they know all the lyrics. You'd love it over there.
Well, man, I've got a lot of friends that have done that C2C deal, you know, Cadillac 3 and a bunch of other people, you know, they've gone over there and they just said it's a blast. So I got fingers crossed to get over there sooner than later.
Well, William, thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time.
Thank you, and I appreciate it.
We'll speak to you again very soon, hopefully.
Yes,
hopefully in the UK.
Hopefully we'll see you there, and we'll be coming to your office.
All right, good to see you. Thanks for the time.